It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a slightly unusual beer to show you. It's by the Yorkshire Pudding Beer Company, and this is Yorkshire Pudding Beer. Made with real Yorkshire puddings, coming in at 3.6% ABV in a 500ml bottle. It's part of Aldi's Next Best Thing. Or the next big thing, they're saying. So Aldi have betted big that this could become a big thing in the world of beer. Quite interesting. So we've got a black bottle cap. So I've not looked at the back of the bottle. The bottle cost me £1.20. It was actually the last one on the shelves in Aldi. This one must have sold out pretty quick. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass. I'm going to use this glass today. Why not? Nice big pint glass. So what's probably happened here is that they've used leftover Yorkshire puddings to brew beer with. So they've, instead of using malt and barley, or maybe they supplemented it with some malt and barley, but generally the main thing is that they extracted the sugars from the Yorkshire puddings to make beer. Quite an interesting thing, I suppose, isn't it? We got a one finger white head, slow moving carbonation. It's quite hazy to look at. I would say in terms of colour, it's almost looking like a brown ale, but I think if it was clear, it would be looking like a deep red amber colour. In terms of sediment, there's little, there is little bits of sediment in the bottom of the glass, and we've got slow moving carbonation. So let's get the aroma. It smells quite nice, actually. Traditional kind of biscuity, bready, of course, Yorkshire puddingy kind of aroma. Smells quite worty, spicy, peppery. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. I tell you what, for a 3.6% ABV beer, this packs a bit of a punch. Of course, it's really drinkable. It's really drinkable. Being 3.6% ABV, it's ultimately very, very refreshing. You're greeted with lots of biscuit flavours, lots of nuttiness, a little bit of roastedness, and then you've got a little bit of kind of bitterness on the back end where the hops are kicking in. A spicy, peppery, hoppy flavour. It's not bad, you know. It's not bad. It really isn't bad. So let's have a look at the back of the label. I want to do two things here. I want to tell you where they're from first. They're from Malton in North Yorkshire. And they say Yorkshire Pudding Beer. This is not a beer to make Yorkshire puddings with. It's Yorkshire Pudding Beer. The first and original Yorkshire Pudding Beer made in the foothills of the North Yorkshire moors. We get our Yorkshire puddings from our friends at the Real Yorkshire Pudding Company in Doncaster. Each 500ml bottle of beer contains approximately half of a Yorkshire pudding. The beer is soft and smooth with a hint of creaminess at the back end of the beer. Right, so water, malted barley, so that's going to be your main ingredient. Then if you just brewed a beer with half a Yorkshire pudding, approximately, you're not going to get enough residual sugars from the Yorkshire pudding to be able to get that 3.6% ABV. So a lot of it will be malted barley. there's just enough Yorkshire pudding in there for them to say, hey, yeah, Yorkshire pudding beer. And then the Yorkshire pudding is wheat flour, wheat, calcium, carbonate, iron, all the things that you would expect to read on the back of an Anne Bessie Yorkshire pudding. So there's a whole egg, rapeseed oil, hops and yeast, but that's to do with the Yorkshire pudding. Ideal temperature is to serve at 12 degrees. Now, I'm going to say it's about 6 degrees in this conservatory this morning. It is absolutely freezing. I think, and we're only in early December 2022, I think we're going to have a really cold winter this year. I'm already, this morning I woke up and I've already put 2 pairs of socks on. I'm already 2 pairs of socks in. This padded jacket doesn't quite feel like enough. But the beer, the reason why I say all of this is the beer's sitting on my shelf here, so it's going to be about 6 or 7 degrees, this beer. It's, for me, it's a decent temperature. Anything that goes below 4 degrees, you start to lose malt flavour, you start to lose hop flavour. So as long as it's above that 4 degrees, you're okay. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. I think they produced a really decent best bitter here, and they've centred it around this Yorkshire pudding. Maybe they've come across some brewing equipment, and maybe they're right next to the Yorkshire pudding factory, and it makes sense to strike up a deal with the Yorkshire pudding people to say, hey, we will buy all of the stuff that you don't use. So the Yorkshire Pudding Company are selling, a bit like when a brewer gives his malt to the farmer for the sheep and the cows and the pigs. The pigs go, when they see the malt, they go running, they charge at this kind of malt. Not necessarily the sheep, but maybe the pigs and the cows, they come running towards hot steaming malted barley that gets given by the farmer from the brewer. They love it. They absolutely love it. Now, I'm thinking the same thing with this Yorkshire pudding factory, that the stuff that they don't use. You see it, don't you? There's bread making breweries, not bread making breweries, but leftover bread breweries. There's about 2 in the UK already. So why not do it with Yorkshire puddings? Does it taste of Yorkshire pudding? That's the whole point. Not really. It's a best bitter with malt and hops, and there's no real taste of Yorkshire pudding. In terms, would I drink it again if I seen this in Aldi? Yeah, I'd buy 6 bottles of this. I would quite happily buy 6 bottles of this and enjoy it. It's quite tasty. Head's dissipated quite quickly. That might be the fats from the Yorkshire pudding. That might be the egg and everything else in there. But generally, it's a pretty decent beer. Is it the next big thing though? I reckon if they could sort it out where there was a little bit of a head on the beer, if they could sort a head out on that beer, yeah, it'd be okay, I think. It would be okay. I like it. £1.20. Cheap enough, innit? Cheap enough. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Oh, pardon me. Boom! Cheers.